Hey, you believe this, Phil? You believe this for the 40th time?
What's that?
Specky never called, she never showed up, nothing. I couldn't make out in a woman's prison.
Well, why do you have to feel that way?
Look, when you pamper somebody, you give them your whole, you try to show your essence and this and that, and they slam you down each and every time. I might as well just try to genetically dissolve myself into two people and date myself
Well,
without being humorous. I'm pissed.
I could like that, but the thing about it is that you do have to like yourself, and you have to be satisfied with yourself. Right? You can't just go around being totally angry at everything and everybody.
It's not anger. It's not an issue of anger. I think sometimes my sensitivities are more of a malady than the anger. They're too close together, and maybe through your expertise in emotional disorder, you can hook me up with something. I'm angry. I don't know what I am anymore. I'm just.
What makes you happy? What
I
are the
thought I
things
had
in
the
life that
life
make
of my, I thought I had the love of my life, and it just was just an empty vat of non-emotional garbage that went through us for 2 months. If I'm too deep, I'm sorry, Phil.
No, the thing about it is you have to say that. And I have to know this in order to make some sort of medical review on your situation. But my feeling is that you have allowed 2 months to ruin your whole life.
Well, it's not the 2 months, it's the activity within the 2 months, if that's saying the same thing. I thought your word was your honor, and evidently I got lambasted and if I may say, internally raped by emotion.
Emotion is very strong. It's very strong. It's something we have to corral at times. I mean, there'll be times when you need emotion that emanates joy and happiness, and there's other times that'll be emotion that'll emanate sadness and decree a very hurtful scenario.
Well, that's just it. I guess I'm hurting, and I guess I'm so internally welled that I don't know direction. And that's why you've been through it, I think.
Yes, but what I have to say to you is, for every step that you take is your step, not mine, and whatever comes about. Now, certainly I've been able to handle some of my problems of what you speak, but you're going to have to learn how to handle yours. Yours are very, very different than mine, although they come from possibly a similar area.
You get me, Phil, but in a way you don't get me. I'm hurting. I don't, I'm not here to well up and choke up and act as if I'm here to. If you're a therapist and you're not, excuse me. I don't get it.
So this whole thing has cut you deeply.
Yeah.
And so the other situation is the other person don't feel as strong as you do, is what you're saying?
When I thought of you, I drew a blank. Those were her words at the end. When I thought of you, I drew a blank. How do you combat? How are you ready for that? When I thought of you, I thought I was pampering. I thought we had something, embracement, and then when I thought of you, I drew a blank.
Apparently, that type of person hasn't grown up yet, hasn't grown to full understanding of another person's feelings. Now, granted, saying something like that is very hurtful. She may have wanted to be away from you from the very beginning. Whenever you two first started out, she might have thought, this is just something.
Well, there was no spousal abuse. There was no any kind of abuse. All I did, I once said, if I may, so I'll get a little closer. I once said, you can never win by being Jerry Lewis. And what I mean by that is pampering. What do you want to do? There's no good. We don't yell. We don't scream. It's a very level type relationship. And you know something? It doesn't
go. No, it can't go.
You need up and down. You need
absolutely
levels. And all I did was like a little, an urchin for love.
Well, they talk about marriage being a 50. Now, you two weren't married. Were you at this time?
Well, I considered a marriage,
okay.
but we weren't married.
They consider marriage a 50-50 proposition. What they don't tell you is after that, at one time it may be 10-90, 10 on her part, 90 on yours,
Yeah.
or it may come around and be 10 on your part and 90 on hers. That, the average out 50-50, that's great.
Well, I don't mean to be a
No,
little
please.
caustic or a little acerbic here, using highfalutin language. No, because it seemed that ratio was there the whole time. I just, through my little two-day-old eyes, never saw what was down the road for our relationship for so many years. I just didn't see it. It's like an oncoming train. You don't see the train, you just see the lights.
Is it a possibility that you could have been blinded by your love, blinded by your trust?
I was blinded by the
light. You
light.
wanted to love, you wanted to trust, and it wasn't there?
Yeah, but it's a capital. The big word today is earthiness. That's the big word on Sunday for me, is earthiness, with a capital E. I thought her earthiness, her way, that we were just life partners, and then just to sever, like an executioner. And I guess that's what I'm rattled about, her cold-bloodedness.
Well,
Cold-blooded, I'm sorry, like a reptile.
well, you have to realize one thing, that she has her own agenda. Albeit with or without you, she does have one. You have an agenda, but yours happens to entail part or all of her.
Exactly.
If it was meant to be, both of you would probably have the same feelings, the same interactions, the same interweavings of life's up and downs.
So is it me who has to grow up emotionally, or is it her, or is it both of us?
Actually, I would say it's both of you, but there's an old saying that no matter how big or how small the pancake is, there's still two sides. You have your side, and she has hers. If they don't meet, it doesn't mean the pancake is still raw, it's
Yeah.
still
Wow.
unavailable.
Well, maybe because of her lascivious way, she's just a pig in a blanket.
But not,
You know, I mean, I just got just tremendous, I got anger. I know you're being,
you're allowed to have anger, that's
yeah,
part
but
of
I
you.
want to shift this now into a higher light. It's like submerged in clay or gook.
What is it that you want to be higher? You or your feelings? Now there may be a kind of a catch there, but you're going to say, well, if it's me, my feelings come along with it. But your feelings have to develop some way to give you, damn, maybe I did make a mistake. Maybe I was wrong.
Oh, yeah.
The only person who's really probably going to know that is you. Not me as a psychoanalyst, or not my colleagues, or not anybody.
Yeah. In fact, I think back in my memory bank, it seems that I have this routine or this pattern of not doing good, and then doing something bad. Because I do my Jerry Lewis. I'm afraid of losing. I'm afraid to do this. Everything okay? It's like a fighter who gets knocked down and he has 10 seconds to get up in that round, and his manager or his assistant is pampering him. I feel like I'm always pampering.
But you
Always pampering.
You want to be you, though, don't you? Do you like you? Maybe you don't like you yet.
Well, maybe that's for another session, because I'm not here to let the cat out of the bag on that one.
Fair enough.
You know, you could be right on that. Maybe it's me. But
You can be stronger, and you just need to have a little more knowledge. And there's a possibility that you're saying, what is Phil talking about? Stronger?
no, I don't disrespect you in any way. I couldn't wait to get here. It's just, no, seriously, I mean, you're a good guy. I cushion off of you. I cushion off your
Well, thank
your
you.
knowledge.
Thank
It's just sometimes, you reach a stage in your life where you just don't want to hear it. Just, I'm tired, but
Let me ask you this, what you just said, because I can relate to it, and I'll give you an example. Have you ever thought of committing suicide?
I should say no comment as if I've been in a courtroom.
You-
That thought, from the early years of reading Sylvia Plath, there's always been that intrigue. but never did I ever have the chutzpah or the moxie or whatever to perform that, because what a shame on others. You know, I can't do that to family. I can't do it to myself. I've come too far. Nah.
And
I gotta say nah.
And the thing about it is, it's a finite thing. You can't come back from that. Once you go there, tough biscuits, it's all over with.
And, you know,
And I don't think you want to be all over
well,
with.
you know, I'm not here to match you stride for stride. I remember reading an article about the Golden Gate Bridge and people at that last second trying to, because they have a camera there, trying to grab back to that footing so they can go back. You know, 60%. I've never reached that area, but love can kill you. Love can kill
Love
you.
can. Love can.
I never knew.
Love
so
can heal.
Well, I went through the addictive process now, and the withdrawing, and now hopefully I will be healing. And I thank you again, Phil, Dr. Phil.
But the thing, you know, you yourself have now become an investment in you. You have learned something. Now, certainly, you must know that the smallest pebble in the stream or the largest rock, sooner or later, is moved onward. Some way, somehow, it's moved onward. Maybe even to find itself in a little eddy, and that's it. Or is it going to continuously roll down the stream and learning new things and becoming new places? That's what you're in right now. You're learning. You're getting yourself into a frenzy of, well, do I question myself or not? You can question yourself, yes, but don't hurt yourself.
No, never. I mean, I made a promise to me, and I don't. The finality is not there. The finality is embracement, and for some strange reason, you know, I don't want to sound sociopathic or something really wrong with me. It's been so evasive. So, you know, and then I think I have the right one, and like a gambler, I want to do this. You know what this is? I want to take the whole pot.
Right.
And then, you know what I do? I'm doing this, but meanwhile I'm getting a draft on both sides, and there's no money there. There's nothing. All I'm doing is trying to think that I'm getting and obtaining. So
That's a positive thought, though.
I only hope so. I don't want to sound redundant here. I just hope so, because, man, I miss her. Wow. I never knew that, you know, whatever. Yeah.
I think you've got a good handle on everything. I really do. I don't think you're misleading yourself. I don't think that you're misunderstanding yourself.
Yes.
I think you have come to the conclusion that there is more, and you would like to know more. You just need to know how to get that.
I have a, you know, I once said, you know, if I, there's a thing, if I was, I don't even know how to say it, about being behind a truck 200, you know, you don't see the train, the lights from the train coming sometimes, but, you know, they're there, the tracks are there, you know, but through your knowledge and help, you know, I'm starting to see the light. It's just sometimes it gets in, it's like, I guess, having cataracts, it comes in muddy and foggy and whatever, but I'm still seeing the light. It's just hard to embrace it and take it in. That's it.
I would say when things like this happen, don't allow yourself to become complacent. In other words, I can handle my problems. The heck, if there's problems that are giving you angst and giving you questionable doubt about things, talk to somebody. Even if you talk to strangers, it doesn't hurt. That stranger didn't know who you were before you met him or her, but now you're taking the time, and they have taken the time to listen.
You know, it's again, you speak volumes, because my mother would always say, you don't need to speak to a psychiatrist, speak to your friend. It's the same thing. And you save a lot of money, you know, and you have to be right.
Well, Mom sounds like a pretty cool lady. I like her.
Yeah. You know,
But
so I know the world of psychology. That's for another session. But no, I don't know the world of psychology, but I know how damaging it can be sometimes. And I think that comes from your younger years, you know, the attachment, the abandonment, whatever it may be. And so I thank you, Phil. I don't want to go on and on like a tirade, but, you know, hopefully.
Well, I thank you for coming in.
Thank you, Phil. And when's my next appointment? If you could make it next.
Would you like probably within a month or something like that?
No, a little earlier, maybe.
Earlier?
And maybe could you fit me maybe in twice? for the week. I know you don't do that sliding scale and all that stuff, but
Yeah,
I
well,
really need you now, man, because it's a hard time for me in a way.
and I'm glad you said that, because that shows that you have a certain amount of panache, a certain amount of moxie. Says, you know, I'm not afraid to learn. I'm not afraid to ask any questions. Here's this guy sitting across from me, and I like what he's doing, and I'm going to learn from this. And I think that this is what's going to happen.
Thank you.
How about in 2 weeks?
All right.
2 weeks
okay,
before?
I'll call your secretary.
All right.
And thank you for unshedding one of the layers, man. I appreciate that.
Thanks for coming in.
Thanks, man.
All
Appreciate it
right.
Again. Thank you.